You know, I can go out there and get booed. As that's the last time I was in LA, I was Hollywood Hogan with a black beard and doing the bad guy thing. I can go out there and get booed in LA, or The Rock can get booed in LA, or John Cena gets booed in LA. But when I get booed, there's a whole different reaction media wise. For some reason, I've laid some type of groundwork that people are still interested in what I'm doing.
Hey guys, we soon gonna talk about Hulk Hogan, who did an interview with Ariel Helwani, where him and Eric Bischoff, who also spoke, talking about the new promotion that's gonna be coming up. Let's talk more about it. Toss Ray Scandal, aka KDH.
Tired of being humble. I'm tired of letting people think they got a chance. The tribal chief is head and shoulders above everybody.
Hey guys, we're here at Toss Ray Scandal, aka KDH. Turbo King in the building. We are going to talk about today Hulk Hogan starts new business venture despite the hatred. Get the license, we come into the locker room. We're going to air some dirty laundry on this one. Now, a couple weeks ago, Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff, they both did a vignette or a promo talking about a new promotion they're going to do for freestyle wrestling, and it's supposed to be a third man a promo. Now, also, Hulk Hogan has been speaking on the Pat McAfee show, TMZ Sports. I think Eric Bischoff was even on Fox News promoting this new promotion. Now, Hulk Hogan has stated that he is not trying to be in competition with WWE. He's not trying to be in competition with UFC. He wants to create this promotion to get back to wrestlers that to get an opportunity to wrestle. And he's talking about freestyle wrestlers. He's talking about, guys with an amateur background. That's why he named the names of the most prominent amateur style wrestlers and the names of Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, and Shelton Benjamin. And like I said before, we covered it before where, Shelton Benjamin took it way too far. But meanwhile, this is about the promotions, not about that. Now, he spoke about as well that, he's trying to get guys in there. He's trying to do everything he can to get promotion going. And he think it could be a very profitable venture, really can help. And he's basically just trying to get back to the wrestling business. This is his way of doing it. Now we have the interview coming up where Ariel Helwani and Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan, they all talk about, but mostly Hulk Hogan speak about it. And he talks about how this whole thing came about. Let's check out the interview here. And there are other people too that we're going to talk about as well that they didn't sound too happy about it. Vince Russo, and we talk about Cafe with Renee Dupree. But let's check out the interview first with Ariel Helwani.
Us back to the beginning, the embryonic stages. How does this all come across your radar? How does this all kick off for you?
I've got a new way to call it. It's pro wrestling.
Okay, there it is. Double pro.
Pro wrestling. This is pro wrestling, brother. This is the elite of the elite. It came across the radar, because we're always looking for these openings, like when a beer company dropped its marketing plan, made a mistake. We started Real American Beer, and there was an open lane. The George Foreman Grill was like an open lane. Wish I'd have been a little quicker on that one. But then all of a sudden, when we were looking at TV and stuff, we saw what was going on with UFC, of course, what was going on with the company that I'm with, WWE. And we kind of saw, because Eric's been all over the place as far as producing TV and being part of it and actually running one of the largest companies ever at the time, back in the 90s when I was part of it. We saw that reality TV and scripted stuff wasn't as strong as the new stuff that was taking off, sports, and all of a sudden, TV sports such as Shaun White's snowboarding league, such as the girls volleyball league, those type of things were starting to take off and get a lot of traction. And all of a sudden, somewhere in between UFC and WWE, there was a market that was really underserved, and that was the amateur wrestlers, the gold medalists, the Olympians, the NCAA champions, the world's champions. They would spend their whole life doing something they loved from 4 or 5 years old, and then when they get to the peak of their career and they'd won a gold medal, or they became the NCAA champion or 10-time world champion, there was nowhere else to go. So when we saw that, we basically, Eric and I started talking with our partner Chad, and we didn't want to compete with UFC. We didn't want to compete with WWE, but we wanted the opportunity to be as big as them. And, we put our heads together and we started this freestyle league. And all of a sudden, man, it's like jumping on that lightning bolt of Hulkamania. We made the announcement. Everybody's coming to the table. So it's
But
really
then there are
exciting.
other fans who want to support your beer or whatever product that you're attached
Yeah.
to. How do you feel, without beating around the bush, how do you feel about your relationship with with the public right now, your relationship with the people, especially coming off the last time we saw you on a major stage was that Netflix show back in January at the Intuit Dome?
Well, they're still nipping at my heels. I can go out there and get booed. As actually the last time I was in LA, I was Hollywood Hogan with a black beard and doing the bad guy thing. I can go out there and get booed in LA, or The Rock can get booed in LA, or John Cena gets booed in LA. But when I get booed, there's a whole different reaction media wise. For some reason, I've laid some type of groundwork that people are still interested in what I'm doing. And so for those that are on the team and are riding with the train to the station, that's great. For those that are the haters and still have a problem with me, there's nothing I can do to fix that except just keep proving by my actions that I'm still in the game. I'm still pushing hard. I took a lot of time off because I had like 25 surgeries and I was down for a long time. And I've always loved the hunt. I've always loved to get back in the game, but it's always been that way with me because my whole career I had that top spot no matter what it was. Even through the 80s, it was the fastest draw. During the 80s, it was just a situation where everybody was knocking me. Everybody was trying to knock me off that top spot. I'll trade that for not being on the bottom of the card, if you know what I'm saying, or being on the bottom of the pile of life. So for me, it's just part of the territory. I mean, it's kind of like, when you get booed and then you get 3.2 billion engagements all of a sudden, and then you rock that whole world in LA with how much interaction there was on the internet. I'll take it.
Okay, so after that, you didn't view that as some sort of like indictment on the state of your career, how people feel about you. You felt like they were just booing the
Oh,
character.
no, 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 no. All the above. All the above. There are certain people that, boo the character. There are certain WWE superstars that had an opinion and they had advice for me. But I would like to ask those same guys when I go to New York or Chicago and the people cheer, out of the rooftops, I would like to know what their advice is then and what their opinion is. So it's a double-edged sword with me. And it's always been that way. It's part of the character. It's part of, me personally. It's part of my professional life. It's part of my personal life. It's all the above. I mean, and at the end of the day, I'm just like an old scarred up seal with a bunch of scars on me. And I'm really relatable to most normal people because a lot of people have been through a lot of stuff I have professionally. A lot of people have made not the same mistakes, but personally made mistakes. And I'm still relatable to so many people. If they boo me, fine. If they're on the team lead, that's great too. So not hating on anybody, brother. I'm still here. I'm still moving forward. And it's kind of like the old Rocky movie. It depends on how hard you can get hit, get back up and keep moving forward. And brother, I'm always leaning into the wind.
I appreciate that. You guys teased that there was a third man. Let's bring in the third man, and he is someone who knows this world of wrestling better than anyone. I've known him for a very long time myself, has coached some of the greatest MMA fighters of all time, and of course, some of the greatest Olympic and collegiate.
Now, that was Hulk Hogan on Ariel Helwani. Not only he talked about his new business coming out, he's doing with Eric Bischoff, he's also talking about how he has no hatred towards anybody, and he's not worried about the haters so much. And he's also talking about how he just wants to pretty much live his own life. But despite all of that, we still going to hear haters talking about how bad this idea it is for Hulk Hogan to run his business venture. Let's see what Vince Russo they had to say at Sportskeeda here.
The whole talk show circuit and TNA was going to be this, that, and man, bro, like...
Yeah. Ever just say things that are nothing's impossible. If there's physics, if there's a way to do it, something is possible. But something so outlandish and crazy and absurd, like just say, we're gonna be something. We're gonna be on the level of. You cannot say bigger, man. Out of all the things Hulk Hogan said, that's the craziest.
You really have to be, Chris, like you've got to be a certain breed to take money from people. Like, Chris, I swear, and I've told you a little bit about this. Somebody wants me to work with them. And they're all excited about me working with them, this, that, and the other thing. Oh, Vince Russo, blah, 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 blah. And, bro, here's the only thing I want to know from them. Seriously. I need them to tell me, how is the use of Vince Russo and the use of my name going to help them monetarily? That's what I want to know. What is your plan? Bro, I can write your entire show. I could be the GM of the entire show. If nobody knows about it, you're wasting your money. Yeah. So you need to tell me that if I agree to do this, how are you going to turn that into dollars for you? Because I'm not going to put my hand in your freaking pocket, bro. Yeah. And it just takes a special breed. Bro, here's the funny thing about it, Chris, and this is why I say this. Bro, we know a couple of years ago, Eric Bischoff went to WWE and lasted 2 weeks. He lasted 2 weeks because he was used to sitting on his ranch in Wyoming. And now all of a sudden he's back in Stanford sitting in meetings. And he was like, what happened to the freaking moose in my backyard? Yep. So now it's going to be different. You're going to jump into this and you're going to put, bro, I'm telling you, and he's older than me. Bro, you can't do, and Hulk's older. Bro, they're in their 70s. Bro, you can't do it at your age. You can't do it at your age. Even if you want to do it, Chris, you don't have the energy to do it anymore, man.
Yeah, yeah. Do you think that they're going to be doing a lot of the traveling, or do you think they're going to do like, satellite type of management? B, he seemed to be close with the options either.
No, wait. I don't blame him. In fact, I would love to move in. Like, no way Eric's going to leave the ranch. Man, that's like the best life ever. You got your ranch in Wyoming. You got your Harleys. You got everything you need, fresh water.
He's got a donkey, bro. He has a donkey out there, bro. A donkey.
What's that?
Yes. A donkey. You know a donkey. Yeah.
Don't take?
Yeah, you know.
I don't.
A donkey, a mule, a mule, a donkey. And what, am I saying it wrong, bro?
He's from New York, bro. Come on, EC3, a donkey.
Mules. He's got mules, bro.
Tank, a dunkaroo. What are we talking about?
He rides his donkeys, bro.
So did Jesus.
I know. I'm saying, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I'm. With the beautiful Wyoming scenery that he has, why in the world would you want to get away from that? I don't see a lot of traveling having to do with this. And Hogan's still affiliated with WWE. Real American Beers, they're still a sponsor, and he still has ties with WWE. He's still part of WrestleMania packages that you got to pay $15,000 for. And so it's there's still affiliation there, so it doesn't seem like it's some type of competition to the WWE, especially since he's still affiliated with the WWE. I think that's the oversell that Hulk Hogan is so used to doing psychologically. It's like you oversell to bring the expectation up here, so if it falls flat, at least it just falls flat here. Versus if you low sell it, it falls flat even lower. And so Hogan is so used to that oversell and, to fall flat, but still be above, average.
Cry wolf, the Hogan oversell. What's the difference?
Now, that was Vince Russo, EC3, and Dr. Chris Featherstone on Sportskeeda talking about the whole new business venture. Now, it's funny that they went and Vince Russo retraced back to TNA days, how they came in there, and it didn't work out, which was true, but that was not the reason TNA fell at that part. They already was coming in a sinking ship, so I disagree with what Vince Russo said. That had nothing to do with that, but you could see the jealousy and the hatred. Vince Russo, they all want to hate on what Hogan's doing. The man's just trying to build something, create something new. Now, people have been saying for years that Hulk Hogan has been not giving opportunities to people while he was wrestling, how he had people jobbing out, burying people. Then he has the opportunity to do something right, and they still want to complain. I mean, what can the man do? But we had a cafe with Renee Dupree. He also going to speak about the whole new Hulk Hogan business venture here.
So him and Bischoff were opening one. You got the NWA. You got, of course, WWE, AEW, MLW, TNA. That's quite a few, right? What do you expect from? They said there's a mysterious third man too, right?
Yeah, I got no idea who the guy was. Like, I watched the video.
Tell me.
No, literally, legit, I don't know who the guy was. I think his name was Izzy.
Izzy.
Well, I'll read it. So it's going to be called the American Freestyle Wrestling. So when I hear that name, I'm thinking, right, it's amateur wrestling. But yeah, he had an interview with Fox. It says the Maga Maniac. So and it says this is freestyle wrestling, but now it's professional because we're able to pay the athletes. Izzy, I'm guessing that's the guy who was in the video. So someone in the chat let me know who Izzy is because I haven't got a clue. Izzy is our linchpin. He's trained Olympic wrestlers, NCAA champions, top college athletes. He helped us recruit elite talent and get them signed. We're not trying to go head-to-head with Dana White or WWE, but our goal is to be just as big, if not bigger. This is an underserved market, and we're here to change that. So, by the sounds of it, it's actually going to be more amateur-based wrestling, freestyle.
Sounds like Bischoff and Hogan are going back to Vern Gagne's way of thinking of breaking in wrestlers.
Right.
Hogan's been around, bruh.
I mean, don't get me wrong, people do appreciate freestyle wrestling when done right. I mean, in my opinion, the greatest person to do that crossover to sports entertainment is Kurt Angle. So you'd think they'll try and get him on board, if anything.
To wrestle?
Not so much to wrestle, but just be if they're hoping to be on TV one day, then Kurt Angle's one of, if not, one of the biggest names in the history of wrestling. So obviously that amateur
so Hulk Hogan, brother.
So is Hulk Hogan, but Angle could go in the ring. I mean, Hogan could at some point.
Listen, Hogan did what he had to do.
Oh,
was asked of him what the fans wanted. That's what they wanted, brother.
But are you surprised that they're going to be, by the sounds of it, going into like this freestyle wrestling route? But I don't know.
Well, it's a wait and see game. I can talk till I'm blue in the face, but until I see it, I'll believe it. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what was the name of the tour he done in Australia? It was like the Hulkamania tour.
Yeah.
Something like that. And I know Jimmy Hart tried to start a promotion, in like 2001, 2002, and they had Hogan on board. I forgot the name of it now.
XWF.
Is that what it was? Yeah, XWF. So, I don't know. I'm surprised Bischoff. Well, I'm not surprised Bischoff's part of it because him and Hogan's best friends, but I don't know. I keep hearing that Bischoff's broke.
He's broke?
That's been going around for a long time. Whether it's true, I don't know, but I can't imagine he's the guy who's financing it. Obviously, Hogan had a big payday from Gorka a few years ago, but I wonder if Hogan's financing it or if they got someone else in the background, perhaps Vince. Who knows?
Who's the third guy?
But it'll be interesting.
Is Izzy financing it?
Well, from what I've gathered, that Izzy guy, he's just like a coach or a trainer who's trained like amateur wrestlers.
Sweet. Okay.
Staying on Hogan. So Hogan was doing an interview and he spoke about Brock Lesnar. So he claimed that after Brock Lesnar's retirement from UFC in 2011, Hulk Hogan was the first person to wrestle him.
The first?
Well, I didn't.
Okay, what's the story about? I don't remember.
Yeah, that's the story. He claimed that when Brock left UFC in 2011, Hulk Hogan claimed I was the first person to wrestle him after the UFC. Who was it?
Now that was Cafe with Renee Dupree. They're trying to figure out who the third man is that stayed in promos. Is it the name that they mentioned? Is that the person? I will say also Kurt Angle being an amateur wrestler. I think him being a coach or being some type of trainer would have been a great idea. I don't know if Kurt Angle was approached by Hulk Hogan and Bischoff or he wasn't approached, but I think that would help out the organization, especially jumpstart the promotion and definitely in the early stages. But as we can see, a lot of people, they're not exactly, thinking that the Hogan business will work. Some people think it may work. Most people don't think they will. But we got to give it a chance. I mean, I know that Hogan, has not had to make the best business moves in the past. I know that he was in TNA. He didn't do no great moves there. I know he did other business ventures as well. But we got to give it a try. We never know what's going to happen. I mean, remember years ago, people didn't think WWE was going to work or UFC was going to work. And look where those companies are both today. They end up being under the same umbrella known as TKO. So we never know what's going to be. I mean, wrestling business is at an all-time high right now. And I think would all be all-time high right now. I think it's great to have another wrestling company come into the door. Now, it could be independent. It could be freestyle wrestling, amateur wrestling, independent, whatever the case may be. But we're going to wait and see what happens. And people's got to get a whole opportunity. But that's all I have for Hulk Hogan starts new business venture. Despite the hatred, do you guys think this business will work or not work? Let me know in the comment section below. You guys check out the content here. Check out the next video for Toss Ring Scandal, aka KDH. Until then, guys, you already know what it is at this point. It's OUT.